My fiancée texted, "Something came up, can't make it to dinner," then vanished for 72 hours with no contact. When she finally showed up, I said, "Welcome back." Then I handed her her belongings and took back the ring. Her excuse about needing space fell apart when I, 31 male, had reservations at this place she'd been wanting to try for months. Made them 6 weeks in advance because they're always booked solid. My fiancée, 28, had been talking about it nonstop, showing me the menu, planning what she'd order. Friday, 5:47 p.m. Reservation at 7:30. I'm getting ready when my phone buzzes. Something came up. Can't make dinner tonight. Sorry. That's it. No explanation. No, can we reschedule? Nothing. Me. Everything okay? What happened? No response. Me, hello. Nothing. Called her. Straight to voicemail. Texted again. Message delivered, but not read. I sat there in my button-down shirt, cologne on, watching the clock tick towards 7:30. Called the restaurant. Canceled the reservation. Guy on the phone sounded annoyed. Yeah, me too, buddy. Tried calling her parents. No answer. Texted her best friend. Haven't heard from her, sorry. By midnight, I was genuinely worried. Called the non-emergency police line. They said she's an adult, hasn't been gone 24 hours. No signs of foul play. Give it some time. Saturday came and went. Sunday too. 72 hours of absolute silence. I was oscillating between furious and terrified. Called hospitals. Nothing. Checked her social media. Nothing posted, but she was clearly online because her profile picture changed on Saturday evening. Changed her profile picture, but couldn't respond to her fiancé, checking if she was alive. Cool. Monday evening, 6:15 p.m. I hear a key in the door. She walks in like she's coming home from the grocery store. Hey babe, miss me? I was sitting on the couch. Have been for about 3 hours just thinking. Welcome back, I said calmly. Sorry about dinner Friday. Something came up last minute. Family emergency kind of thing. My phone died and I forgot my charger. It was crazy. I stood up, walked to the bedroom, came back with 2 suitcases I'd packed over the weekend. Here's your stuff. She blinked. What? Your belongings. I packed them. Babe, what are you talking about? I held out my hand. The ring. Her face changed. You're not serious. Dead serious. Ring. Now. Over what? A missed dinner? You're being ridiculous. No. Over vanishing for 3 days with 0 communication while I thought you might be dead in a ditch somewhere. Ring. I told you. Family emergency. My phone died. Funny thing about that. Your profile picture changed Saturday evening. Dead phones don't do that. She opened her mouth. Closed it. I borrowed someone's phone for a second to do that. I was bored, but not bored enough to text your fiancé that you're alive. I didn't think you'd freak out like this. You're being controlling. There it is. The go-to deflection. Controlling would be demanding to know where you were. I'm not demanding anything except my ring back. You vanished without explanation. That's not someone I'm marrying. Babe, please. Let me explain properly. I just needed some space to clear my head and... Space? You needed space from our relationship, so you stayed in our relationship but just didn't communicate for 72 hours? That's not how space works. That's just being a jerk. You're really going to throw away 3 years over this. You threw it away when you walked out Friday without a real explanation and ghosted me for 3 days. Ring. Last time I'm asking. She stared at me for a solid minute, then yanked the ring off and threw it at me. It bounced off my chest and landed on the floor. You'll regret this, she said, grabbing the suitcases. When you calm down and realize how stupid you're being, don't come crawling back. I'll take my chances. She left, slammed the door hard enough to rattle the walls. I picked up the ring from where it had fallen, put it in the box, and sat back down on the couch. And waited. Because if there's one thing I've learned, entitled people always come back with more drama once the initial shock wears off. Update 1, 4 days later. The text started about 6 hours after she left. Can we please talk like adults? I overreacted. You overreacted. Let's fix this. I miss you. This is stupid. We're good together. Ignored all of them. Then her mom called. Tuesday afternoon. You need to apologize to my daughter. She's devastated. I'm not apologizing for wanting basic communication in a relationship. She had a family emergency. Her cousin was in crisis. Which cousin? Pause. That's not your concern now that you've broken up with her over nothing. If it was a real emergency, she could have sent one text. Family emergency, talk soon. That's 15 characters. Instead, she changed her profile picture on social media, but couldn't let me know she was alive. You're being petty. She forgot her charger. She told me she borrowed a phone to change her picture. Could have texted me from that phone. Didn't. Well, she wasn't thinking clearly. She was stressed. Not stressed enough to avoid social media, apparently. Look, I'm done discussing this. If she wants to talk, she can talk to me directly. She's tried. You're ignoring her. Because there's nothing to discuss. We're done. I hung up. Wednesday, her best friend showed up at my apartment. Let's call her friend because I genuinely don't care what her name is anymore. Dude, you're being harsh. She made a mistake. What exactly was the mistake? Leaving? Not communicating? Lying about her phone being dead? Which part? She was going through something. She needed time. Then she should have said that. Hey, I need a few days alone to process something. I'll contact you Monday. Done. Instead, she vanished and ignored every attempt I made to reach her. Maybe she didn't want to deal with your questions. My questions about if she's okay? Yeah, super unreasonable of me. You're throwing away a whole relationship over one weekend. No, I'm ending a relationship because the person I was planning to marry showed me she doesn't respect me enough to send a basic courtesy text during a crisis. What happens the next time she needs space? I'm supposed to just accept 3-day disappearing acts as normal. This is why you're single. I'm single because I have standards. Feel free to leave. She did, muttering about how I'd ruined her friend's life. Thursday night, I found out what really happened. My cousin's girlfriend's sister, yeah, it's a chain, was at some family thing over the weekend. Posted photos on her Instagram story. I don't follow her, but my cousin showed me. There, in the background of a photo from Sunday afternoon, clear as day, my ex-fiancée, at what looked like a backyard barbecue, laughing, drink in hand, very much not in crisis. But here's the kicker, she was standing really close to some guy. His arm around her waist in one photo, her leaning into him in another. I zoomed in. The guy looked familiar. Took me a minute, then it clicked. Her ex-boyfriend. The one from college she'd dated for 2 years before me. The one she barely talks to anymore. I screenshot everything. Sent it to my cousin. Can you ask around about this? 2 hours later, she got back to me. Okay, so apparently that was his family's thing. Some kind of reunion. But here's the weird part. Multiple people. They thought she was his current girlfriend. Like, he introduced her that way. My stomach dropped. What do you mean introduced her? Like, this is my girlfriend introduced her. And she didn't correct him. Just went along with it. My girlfriend's sister heard it directly. When was this? Saturday and Sunday. She was there all weekend, apparently. All weekend. While I was losing my mind, thinking she might be dead. While her mother was calling it a family emergency. While her best friend was lecturing me about compassion. She was at her ex-boyfriend's family reunion, pretending to be his girlfriend. I sat with that information for a solid hour. Then I made a decision. I created a group chat. Her mom, her best friend, her sister. Attached the screenshots. Interesting family emergency. Looks like fun. Then I muted the chat and went to bed. Update 2, 1 week later. The fallout was immediate and spectacular. Her response in the group chat came within minutes. Who sent you these? Who's stalking me? Not I can explain, or this isn't what it looks like. Straight to blame. Her mom. Where did you get these photos? This is an invasion of privacy. Her sister. Oh my God. Her best friend. I unmuted just long enough to respond. They're from a public Instagram story. No stalking necessary. Just happened to see them. But interesting that your first response is anger about being caught, not shame about lying. Then muted again. She showed up at my apartment Friday morning. I'd taken the day off work specifically because I knew this was coming. Pounding on the door. Open up. We need to talk. I opened it, but stood in the doorway. Didn't invite her in. Talk. Those photos are out of context. Context. You were your ex-boyfriend's family reunion while I thought you might be dead. He introduced you as his current girlfriend. You didn't correct him. Did I miss anything? It's not like that. His grandmother was dying and so it was a family emergency. Just not your family. She stopped, regrouped. His grandmother really loved me when we were dating. He asked me to come say goodbye. I couldn't say no. You couldn't say no to your ex, but you could ghost your fiancé for 3 days? It was complicated. Seems pretty simple to me. You chose to spend the weekend playing girlfriend to your ex instead of being honest with me. I knew you wouldn't understand. You get jealous whenever I even mention him. I get jealous because apparently I have good reason to. You literally went to a family event as his pretend girlfriend. They all think we're still together. I didn't want to deal with explaining the breakup to everyone. Your breakup was 5 years ago, and you didn't want to deal with explaining it. So instead, you just went along with being his girlfriend for a weekend while engaged to someone else. You're twisting this. I'm literally just repeating what you said. You went to his family event. He introduced you as his girlfriend. You went along with it rather than correct people. Where's the twist? It was for his grandmother. She's dying. Then you tell me that. Hey, my ex's grandmother is dying. She always loved me. I'm going to say goodbye. I'll be back Monday. Would I have been thrilled? No. Would I have understood? Probably. Would I still be engaged to you? Maybe. But you didn't do that. You lied, vanished, and played house with your ex. I didn't play house. We weren't like that. Really? Because the photos show him with his arm around your waist. You leaning into him. That's not a casual saying goodbye to grandma pose. You're being insane, and you're still lying. You know what? I'm done. This conversation is over. Wait, please. I love you. You loved him more this past weekend. We're done. Don't come back here. I closed the door. Locked it. She pounded for another 5 minutes before leaving. But didn't stop there. Saturday, her father called. First time we'd spoken in months. Son, I think you're being unreasonable. She made a mistake, but she loves you. Did she tell you she spent the weekend pretending to be her ex's girlfriend at his family reunion? Long pause. She said it was a misunderstanding. It wasn't. He introduced her as his girlfriend. She went along with it. While engaged to me. Well, maybe she just didn't want to cause a scene. For an entire weekend? At multiple events? Come on. If someone introduced you as a different person, wouldn't you correct them immediately? These things are complicated. They're really not. She chose him over me. I'm just accepting that choice. You're going to regret this. She's a catch. Then he can catch her. I'm good. I hung up. Sunday, the best friend texted privately. Okay, so I didn't know about the ex thing. That's messed up. But she's really struggling. She lost her job. Lost her job? When? Last month. That's why she was stressed. She didn't want to tell you because you'd been so excited about planning the wedding. She lost her job a month ago and didn't tell me. Her fiancé. She was embarrassed. So instead of talking to me, her partner, she ghosted me for 3 days to play pretend with her ex. When you say it like that, how else should I say it? That's literally what happened. She needs support right now. She needs therapy and a job, neither of which I can provide since she torched our relationship. You're really not going to give her another chance? What would that teach her? That she can lie, vanish, and pretend to be someone else's girlfriend, and I'll just accept it? Nah, I'm good. Cold. Realistic. Then came the photos. Monday morning, she posted on social media a long caption about toxic relationships and controlling partners and how she's finally free to heal. Her comments filled up with support. People I knew, people I'd considered friends, all rallying around her. You deserve better. So proud of you for leaving. His loss. Nobody knew the full story. Just her version. Controlling fiancé ended engagement over her attending a family event. I could have responded. Could have posted the screenshots and exposed her. But honestly, I didn't care enough. The people who mattered knew the truth. Everyone else could think what they wanted. Tuesday, I got a message from her ex. Yes, that ex. Hey man, sorry about what happened. She told me you guys broke up. Just wanted to let you know it wasn't like that between us. We're just friends. I had no idea she hadn't told you about the reunion. Interesting. So he had introduced her as his girlfriend, but he's claiming they're just friends? Sure, buddy. I responded, appreciate you reaching out. For the record, we didn't break up before the reunion. We were engaged. She vanished for 3 days without telling me where she was going. But hey, water under the bridge now. You too enjoy. Didn't hear back from him. Wednesday, my lease was up for renewal. Had 2 months to decide. The apartment was ours, both our names on the lease. I called the landlord. Yeah, I need to remove someone from the lease. We're not together anymore. Both names are on there. I'll need her signature to remove her. She's already moved out. Took her stuff. Still need her signature. Otherwise, both of you are responsible for rent. Great. So now I had to track her down for a signature. I texted her, need you to sign off on the lease. Landlord won't renew with both our names on it. Come by. Thursday at 3. I'm staying with my parents. Thursday at 3, I showed up at her parents' house. She answered looking like she'd been crying. Come in. I'll wait here. Just need the signature. Please. Just 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I went in. Her mom was in the living room, glaring at me. You've humiliated my daughter. I ended an engagement after she lied and vanished. That's not humiliation. That's consequences. She made one mistake. That's what everyone keeps saying. But it wasn't one mistake. It was a series of choices. She chose to go to her ex's event. Chose not to tell me. Chose to let him introduce her as his girlfriend. Chose to stay all weekend. Chose to lie about her phone. Chose to make up a family emergency story. That's not one mistake. That's a pattern. Her mom opened her mouth, but my ex cut in. Can we just talk? Privately, we went to her old bedroom. She closed the door. I'm sorry. You were right about everything. I messed up. Okay. That's it. What do you want me to say? You apologized. I heard you. Doesn't change anything. It could though. We could start over. I'll do better. You had a job loss a month ago and didn't tell me. You went to your ex's family reunion and lied about it. You let him introduce you as his girlfriend. You made me think you were missing or dead for 3 days. Then you blamed me on social media for being controlling. Why would I start over with someone who did all that? Because people make mistakes. Yeah, and people face consequences. You want to play girlfriend to your ex? Cool. Go be his girlfriend. I'm out. But I don't want him. I want you. Then you should have acted like it. Where's the lease? She handed me the papers, crying. Signed them without reading. I left. Update 3, final. It's been 3 weeks since I ended things. Here's where everything landed. The ring. I returned it to the jeweler. They gave me 70% of what I paid. Not great, but better than keeping a reminder of that mess. Used the money to buy a new couch. The old one was something we picked out together. Fresh start needed. The apartment. Sign a new lease. Just my name. Rent's higher than I'd like, but manageable. Place feels different without her stuff everywhere. Better different. Her social media narrative fell apart pretty quickly. Turns out the ex-boyfriend's family member, an aunt, I think, saw her post about toxic relationships and got confused. Left a comment. Wait, weren't you just at our reunion with ex's name? You two seemed so happy together. She deleted the comment within minutes. But screenshots live forever. Someone saved it, shared around. Her whole controlling ex-fiancé story started getting questioned. Then the ex-boyfriend posted something vague about respecting boundaries and not leading people on. Didn't name her specifically, but the timing was obvious. Guess he wasn't thrilled about being used as a prop either. Her employment situation got worse. Found out through mutual connections that she didn't just lose her job. She got fired for attendance issues. Been happening for months. The weekend she vanished? That was actually the 3rd time she'd done something like that. Not showing up, not communicating. Her parents tried one more intervention. Her dad called 2 weeks ago. Look, I know my daughter screwed up, but she's really struggling. Can't you find it in your heart to forgive her? I don't hate her. I forgive her. But forgiving someone doesn't mean staying with them. She lied repeatedly. That's not something I can build a marriage on. She's in therapy now, working on herself. Good. She should do that, but she should do it single. I'm not a rehab center for people who don't respect their partners. That's cold. That's honest. She needs to figure out why she thought lying to me and playing girlfriend to her ex was okay. I can't teach her that. He hung up disappointed. Not my problem anymore. The ex-boyfriend stopped responding to her texts, apparently. Found this out because her best friend, who's been weirdly neutral through all this, mentioned he got back together with someone else and my ex is hurt by the rejection. Wild. She torpedoed an engagement to play pretend with him, and he bounced as soon as he realized she was actually interested. Karma's got a sense of humor. Her mom tried the guilt trip angle last week. Showed up at my work, which is bold and inappropriate. You've destroyed her self-esteem. She's depressed. Barely leaves her room. I'm sorry she's struggling, but I didn't destroy anything. She made choices. Those choices had consequences. You could have been more understanding, more patient. I was patient for 3 years. Understanding for 3 years. She repaid that by lying to my face and vanishing to cosplay as her ex's girlfriend. My patience ran out. What about forgiveness? Compassion? I forgive her, but I don't trust her. You can't have a marriage without trust. So we're done. And you showing up at my job to guilt trip me isn't helping her case. You're heartless. I'm practical. She's your daughter. Support her. But stop trying to manipulate me into taking her back. It's not happening. Security walked her out after that. Banned from the building now. Awkward for everyone. Meanwhile, I've been doing okay. Not great, not terrible. Just okay. Went on a couple dates. Nothing serious yet. Not really looking for anything serious. Just getting back into the swing of being single. Weirdest thing happened last week, though. Got a friend request on social media from the ex-boyfriend's grandmother. The dying one that was supposedly the reason for the whole mess. Accepted it out of curiosity. She messaged me immediately. Hello. My grandson showed me your page. I wanted to apologize. I had no idea my ex was engaged to you. She told everyone she was single and dating my grandson. I feel terrible about the confusion. Not dying apparently. Or at least, not dying enough to avoid Facebook. I responded, no apology necessary. You didn't do anything wrong. She lied to everyone. I hope you're doing well health-wise. Much better, thank you. Chemo worked. Doctors say I'm in remission. I'm very blessed. So the dying grandmother's story was exaggerated at best, completely fabricated at worst. Cool. More lies. I share that screenshot with my ex's best friend. For the record, the grandmother's fine. Remission. So that whole excuse was BS too. Wow. Okay. I don't even know what to say. Nothing to say. Just wanted you to have all the facts since you're still defending her. Haven't heard from a best friend since. My ex tried one last time 3 days ago. Showed up at the apartment at 10 p.m. Drunk. I miss you. I screwed up. Please. Just one more chance. Go home. You're drunk. I'm not that drunk. I mean it. I love you. You love the idea of keeping me as backup while you explored other options. That's not love. That's convenience. That's not true. Then why'd you go to his reunion? Why'd you let him call you his girlfriend? Why'd you lie about your phone? I don't know. I panicked. I wasn't thinking. You weren't thinking for an entire weekend? Come on. Please. I'll do anything. There's nothing to do. We're done. Have been for weeks. You need to accept that and move on. I can't move on. You're it for me. Then you should have treated me like it. Call an Uber. You can't drive like this. I called one for her. Waited until it showed up. Put her in the car. Gave the driver her parents' address. Watched it pull away. Haven't heard from her since. Last thing, I ran into her sister yesterday at the grocery store. She looked uncomfortable, but stopped to talk. Hey, how have you been? Good. You? Okay. Look, I'm sorry about everything. I didn't know the full story until recently. My sister's been not honest about a lot of things. Yeah, I figured. For what it's worth, I think you made the right call. She's got issues she needs to work through, and she wasn't going to work through them while you were around enabling her. Enabling her? Yeah, you were always fixing her problems, paying for things when she was short on cash, making excuses for her when she flaked on plans, covering for her bad behavior with our parents. She never had to face consequences for anything because you smoothed it all over. I thought about that. She was right. I'd done all those things. Thought I was being a good partner. Turns out I was just teaching her she could get away with anything. Well, she's facing consequences now. She is. And honestly, she needed it. Maybe this is her rock bottom. Maybe she'll actually change. Maybe, but not my problem anymore. No, it's not. Take care of yourself. You too. We parted ways. I finished my shopping. Went home. Made dinner. Watched TV. Went to bed. Normal life. No drama, no lies, no disappearing acts. And honestly, it's pretty nice. The ring's gone. The apartment's mine. The relationship's over. And I'm fine. Not heartbroken. Not angry. Just fine. She wanted space 3 weeks ago. Now she's got all the space in the world. And I got my peace back. Worth it.